country church that brings me closer to my Savior. Little bit of heaven, a whole lot of love left behind. So put a candle in the window and let it set your heart aglow.
Hi.
Good morning.
It's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you.
Amy Pendleton is here with me, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Who's the guy sitting to your right?
Isn't he a good-looking fella?
I don't know.
I picked him up. He was out on the street, you know, just kind of wandering around. He looked like he needed somebody.
All right. I suppose I got to include him.
Yeah, no, his name's Andre Perry, and he's with the Franklin County United Way.
Oh, imagine
And let me
that.
tell you, he's in my building, you know, because United Way's in my building.
I'm sorry.
Oh, but it's wonderful. I get a kiss and a hug every morning. What a way to start the day.
He tries to kiss me and hug me. Andre, I'm glad to see you too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
You are involved in the United Way.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Been running parties down at the market and doing all kinds of things. And we're going to talk about the Perinatal Education Center specifically, and you can do some relating to that.
Yes.
I mean, besides being in your building there.
Another great partner of the United Way family.
Yeah. It was so nice to see Barbara when we were up there.
Yeah.
We had a problem come up with some car seats and things in vehicles, and I said, I know who I can go ask, and we went up and visited Amy, and she straightened us out, and you know, and that's, you know, as you know, recently I had lots of grandchildren here, and it's just, I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate what you do. And not just because you help me, but because it's good for the world. It's good for the world as we know it in Franklin County. And
well, the child can't help itself. So parents have to step up. And I appreciate grandparents and parents calling and coming by and getting the car seats checked, because the child doesn't know. Well, so it's good.
There are, you know, if I go from public safety to the Perinatal Education Center and to United Way. I'm looking at his lapel. But seriously, we are fortunate to live where we do.
Well, in talking about the public safety, you know, I do a class, infant CPR and home safety class, and a lot of what they talked about I cover in the home safety class, especially having the family fire drills, changing the you know, batteries in the smoke detectors, and of course other, you know, basic things like predetermine who's going to get the child out if the smoke detector goes off at night, who's going to get the pets out, so that you're not coming back in the house. So there's a lot. I mean, in having a baby, there's a lot that changes.
That just begins,
you know,
I guess.
It is. It's just the beginning. I mean, from then on, your life is totally changed.
It's amazing that you really don't expect that, don't know that, don't believe that. You can't. You can't be. You've never had one. There's no way to have experience. Now, I maintain that in at least in my case, when I was coming up, I kind of raised my two little sisters because one parent was out of the picture, and my mother. Well, now you know which one was out of the picture. My mother worked 2 or 3 jobs, so I was kind of like the dad. So I learned very early on, and to my sister, my surviving sister, will tell me today, thank you, which kind of is a sobering thought that somebody remembers. And that you've got to do that. You have to pay attention. And what you just said was a mouthful.
Well,
remember.
Yeah, I had a couple that were donating 2 babies from Russia, and they never had changed a diaper, never dealt with children. And they asked me, being that I'm an international doula, they asked me to be involved, to travel and help them and that kind of thing. So the first thing I did is they had to have a home safety test done. So they said, can you help us prepare for that? And I said, oh, most definitely. So I get to their house in North Carolina, and he's over 7 foot tall, and she was about my size. And I said, okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to get on your hands and knees and crawl around your house. And they looked at me, and I said, because you're at that child's level. And you never think about it if you have like an end table that has a lamp on it and that cord is running down the edge to a child looking up. That's just something to pull to see what's at the other end. Or a table runner or trash cans. You know, everything down on their level is what they see. So by putting these parents to be on the level of the child, it was, and of course they had 2 chocolate labs that just were head over heels in love with the whole activity. But it you know, it opens your eyes to what they see. So it's just different things that you have to think about in the safety of the home when you're bringing a baby into it.
Very true, to be prepared up front.
Because one other thing I also cover in the class, because we're in the season where you're maybe fertilizing or liming your yard, you know, same thing in the spring. Everything that where you walk around during the day, whether it be on the road, the sidewalk, or if you know, mow your yard or lime your yard, when you come in your house, it's on your shoes. And if you have carpeting, it goes in the carpeting, and that baby is then crawling on that carpeting, and it's on its hands, and you know how children put their hands in their mouth. So you think about, you know, all the different things that you are bringing into the house as well.
Folks, I hope you're paying attention. You know,
That's just some of the things we cover in the class.
We're going to school today.
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
And it's a good thing to do. And we're not suspect as far as your brain power. It's just, I forget. So these people are helping me. And those of you that are like me that need that, you grab on. The rest of you that have all the answers now, granted, you don't need to listen. But I think there's probably, never mind, I won't say any more. But this is important stuff, and I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, now,
Few things.
few things going on in the Perinatal Education Center. Let's see, today is the 21st. I'm looking at something that's happening on
This
the 26th.
Saturday. Yes.
And I'll get to you, young man.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm having a good time.
Andre Perry, of course, is, as we've been teasing, and you've seen him on screen. He's a dear friend and somebody that is very much involved with the United Way now, and we will talk a little more about that momentarily and relate it back to everything else
Yep.
we
It's all
been
tied
talking.
together.
Yeah, it really is. And all right, so you've got a yard sale coming, and
Yes.
you've got, but the most important thing we're going to talk about is you've got a calendar coming.
That's coming too.
All right, now you take your pick and jump
Well,
in.
the yard sale, you know, I hadn't had a chance to fax you the flyer, so I thought I'd hand deliver it. But the yard sale is this coming Saturday, the 26th, and we open the door at 7 and we close the door at 2. So people start lining up around 6:15 in the morning. We have a huge amount of stuff going out on this yard sale. But I do want to remind everybody that the prices are the prices. We do not mark down, and when we close the door at 2, we mean it. We close the door at 2. You cannot come after the yard sale and see if there's anything left, because what is left from our yard sale goes to the Joyous Junk Yard Sale, which is held in June. So we donate
Out at the
everything.
lake.
Right, and it is a tremendous yard sale as well. This is a fundraiser. It's one of 2 yard sales that we do. So it is a fundraiser for the Perinatal Center. And we encourage everybody to come out. You're more than welcome to, but don't plan to come and pre-look at everything, because that won't happen either. We get it set up and then it's covered, because you can't shop early.
Your name?
Puddentane. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same.
All right, I was just trying to get sure. I was going to see if she used the word sergeant in front of what she was saying, because it sounded like she was barking out some orders there. But anything that happens like this has to have rules.
Yes.
Has to be done in a specific way, if for nothing else but
Right.
to be safe.
Right, and it's all
be honest.
donation, right, it's all donation, so there are no returns. you know, we hope we go through everything and everything is as it's sold and said to be, you know, that electronic stuff works and all that kind of thing. But, you know, you can't come back because you ended up not liking it and return it. That's not the deal. It's a yard sale. But it's a, you know, it's a tremendous fundraiser for the Perinatal Center, and happens twice a year. So it's coming up this Saturday, starting at 7, ending at 2.
Good things going on as we get into this getting nearer the end of the year, and I'm just not prepared for it, I know, but it's going to happen anyway.
Yep.
So, but this, as we get near the end of the year, people are going to be saying, gee, I've only got 1 or 2 more pages on my calendar. Whoa, please tell me, what am I going to do when the calendar is all finished and next year starts in January? Can you help us?
Yes, we have it all set for you. We are doing the cutest baby calendar again.
Oh, do tell.
We have just finished the photo shoots. We are putting 24 babies in the calendar this time. We had over 50 some that entered. So the 24 that were chosen will actually be featured in the calendar, and then the remaining babies that entered the contest are in a collage on the back of the calendar. So we just, you know, so anyone that entered, they're in the calendar somewhere. But this, I brought a few teases. Teresa at Studio Belle Visage is the one that...
Studio Belle Visage, she's been doing this for...
Oh, and she, unbelievable. What she can get these babies to do is just phenomenal. Because some of the babies didn't feel very good at their photo shoots, and she still could get the most fabulous picture.
Let's be fair and say this is a wonderful person and place, and she's supporting a charity in town, and
She's
you
a
remember
dynamic,
that. Folks, you remember that if you need portraits, if you need pictures. What is the name?
Studio Belle Visage.
Located?
Right there next to Lowe's, just right there where State, right there on the
road.
But this is our cover child. This is the baby that was chosen as #1, and that is actually her photo shoot. Let me move it out here so you can see it a little bit better.
We can move to the camera possibly.
But this is, she actually received the cover, and so she ended up having to do 2 photo shoots. And this is the actual picture that's going to be on the cover of the calendar. But she also gets featured in one of the months, and this is the photo of her month. So that is going to be the one there where she's featured in the calendar.
Goodness.
And as I said, there's going to be 2 babies per page.
Are you permitted to say a name?
We're not giving out the names. The names will be in the calendars.
Names will be in the calendars.
Yes, but this is just kind of a tease. So we sent out an email for moms and everybody to watch. But But this was this one.
This is great.
Yeah, the baby was
smiling face, I understand, was asleep at the time.
She was sleeping, but look at how Teresa just gets these. I mean, it's amazing how she gets these photos. And then, of course, we have some gentlemen, because we had 12 boys and 12 girls. Now, that is definitely a Franklin County baby right there. I mean, with his little jar, with his little, you know,
what
are they called?
What's the age of these children?
Newborn to 18 months. So you have all different age ranges, you know, in here. He's got his little car ready to go there. So, and this one, just the expression is, because that's one thing the judges looked for.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Look at that right toe curled under, with just curled up with glee, and the mouth wide open.
I can see that child scooting across the floor in that position right there. So, but the judges really looked for babies that had expression and, you know, could really come across to the camera. And I think they chose very well.
Now, this will all be in a calendar.
Yes,
now,
yes, it will.
There may be some people out there that have never seen this before, so we'll need to talk just a bit about it.
Yeah, well, these, and as I said, these are just a sampling of the photo shoots.
Didn't see any of Andre.
No, Andre, that's the real surprise in the calendar.
In a diaper.
No, ain't going there.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing it.
But no, the calendar, we are finishing up all the final touches on the calendar this week. Hope to take it to press by the end of this week and have it ready for sale the 1st of November. It is a fundraiser for the Perinatal Center, so the calendars will cost $5. But it is all Franklin County babies. These are children that belong
Where
to
will
Franklin
these
counties.
be sold?
Well, we're still determining all that. We have an advertiser for each calendar page. We are going to check with the advertisers to see if they will sell them at their location. So we will do a press release on where the calendars will be available. Of course, they'll be available at the Perinatal Center because we always will have them available there. What we're going to do first is call the winners, and then the ones that also entered the contest, and they get to pre-order. So that gives us an idea how many to order, and then they, will go from there on the sale.
Wow.
But it's a lot of fun, and we've already are talking about next year's calendar. We're thinking about doing a mother-baby calendar next year. So it'll be the mother and the child in the photo instead of just the child. So we'll see how it all pans out. But this is a fun fundraiser, for the center. So
Everybody gets a chance to share in it, too.
that's right. That's right.
Mr. Perry, what do you think about all this stuff?
It's just fantastic. It's such a great idea. When did you come up with this idea?
It's been a couple years. This is our fourth calendar,
Fourth
I
one or
think.
third one, third or
I
fourth?
think it's our fourth, because the first
right,
year
you've
we did
done
the
3,
sites.
yeah,
Yeah, we did because we had the little girl sitting under the eagle
Right.
at the high school, and then we did we had that one, and I can't remember. Oh, and then we did a colored themed one, and then we did the profession last year, and now we're back to a color theme. So
Great.
it's a lot of
just
fun,
something, yeah.
you know?
How
It is.
how are we doing now? This kind of blends, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about yard sale, but an organization that's a not-for-profit, it's hard at work, it's raising funds, it has needs for funds. The next door neighbor is the United Way, and the United Way is in the midst of a campaign to raise money to fill the needs. How does that all work? And what is your part in it, sir?
Well, we have 16 partners this year that we're funding.
Okay.
And of course, the Perinatal Center is one of them. This is really a fantastic United Way.
Oh, yeah.
They have we have so many great partners, as you have experienced. We keep bringing people by here to talk about what they're doing, and I think every time we've done that, some people learn things about the organization that they didn't know. And I've heard a lot of comments, and I think we're being successful at educating the community on what these agencies do to serve the people in Franklin County. Now, the Perinatal Center, I know she just finished up a class here just last week, and all those ladies are out to have babies, I guess, now with all this education. And I'm sure that if there are other new pregnant ladies that would like to, partake in this educational experience, which is phenomenal when you really think about it, that they have the opportunity to do that, contact Amy, because she's going to be starting up another class.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday.
A week from tomorrow,
Good
yeah.
gracious, I didn't realize it was that quick
So
turnaround.
these organizations, of which the Perinatal Center is a perfectly
one.
wonderful example of a non-profit organization that kind of keeps the wheels rolling and keeps the pages turning and makes things happen in the county. All the organizations that fit that, and the fire departments and the hospitals and
that's what you got to think about right there. You mentioned it. The nonprofits that the United Way support, every single person, most likely, in this county has used one or more of those agencies.
Took the
whether
words
it be,
right out of my mouth.
and
so that's exact. And so you are both helping the agencies, and how many of them?
16.
16. And you're preparing them and providing them with funding so that they can do what they have to do to make this a better place, a safer place, a place where you can get help. But it's at a cost, and this is a painless way for everybody to participate. Now, Andre, you'll tell us, how are we doing? It's too early to come up with numbers and facts and figures.
Not really.
Not really.
Right now,
All right.
we have 25% of the funds in the bank for that $375,000 campaign.
That will run from?
It started back in September, but from September to the 1st of January.
1st of January. So
That's in the bank. Now, we have some pace setters and other organizations that are running campaigns right now. We've got a few pledges out there that we have not yet received. So we're doing a little better than that, you know, actually, when we actually get all the money in the house. But I'd like to encourage people to understand that this is pledge time. You don't have to write a check right now. It's time to just make a pledge.
Okay.
You have all of next year, because most of these organizations that are doing their programs, their payroll deductions until January. So we really don't receive that money until...
So if I'm going to decide I want to donate $500 or $100 or $200, whatever, what you're saying is it'd be great. You could sit down and write a check.
Sure.
But it's not necessary.
No.
It can be spread over a period of time starting
in January.
So this is asking for support in order to carry the organizations
Yes.
through next year.
Yes.
And this is where they invented that phrase that I think is perfectly applicable, is the more the merrier. and I mean that as far as people involved, and I mean that as far as total dollars involved. And this is your chance, you being everybody that's watching, that you can assist somebody, someplace, somewhere, sometime in this great county that we live in to help someone else. And all the agencies that are relying on this kind of a thing, that they rely on donations, rely on the...
Well, and I'll have to say, my agency, the Perinatal Center, if we did not have the United Way funding, probably we would not be in existence.
It's not a matter of, excuse me, not a matter of saying that it might be tight. It's a matter more seriously of saying
Doors open or
without
closed.
that, keeping the doors open and closed.
Right.
Wow.
And see, we don't have currently any paid staff. I'm a 100% volunteer. Anyone that works there, my board's a 100% volunteers. So
CP
it's not.
still likes that.
Yeah, he's okay with it. He's gotten very fond of peanut butter sandwiches. But no, it's just, you know, people out there need to know that when they make a contribution to the United Way, they're not paying for someone's salary at an agency, or they're not paying. Their money is, every nonprofit that receives money from United Way can take that dollar and turn it into many dollars. The way we try to stretch everything so that we can cover what we need to provide these programs for people that a lot of time are less fortunate than us, and you never know when you may end up being one of those
Well,
people.
I think if you sit down and look at the agencies and you list them off very carefully, enunciating, very talking about this, and this, perinatal education, and all the groups that this drive helps, you know, you end up saying, oh, I didn't know that. I've had to use that service. Or somebody in my family or a friend
Right.
has had need. And it's a way for everybody in the community, all 50-odd thousand of us, to think about that. 50,000 people in this community.
54,000 plus.
54,000 plus
If everybody
people.
just gave a couple dollars.
That's right.
You know?
It would be all it would
Yeah.
take. It's, you know, granted, you got an extra $100,000 you want to donate, do it.
Bingo.
We'll take it.
It's
right?
tax deductible.
Yes, sir.
It's tax deductible. But more specifically, if you want to figure on $10 a month, If you want to figure on something that is more reasonable for you, you want to help simply because you've been helped, perhaps, it's a good thing to do.
Well, and also he mentioned there are 16 partners.
Yeah.
There are also numerous affiliates.
Yes.
So
okay.
it's not
32.
Yeah, so it's not just the 16 partners. There's all these affiliates, which are other agencies that can receive funding as well.
If we reach our goal, do you think we can convince him to sing a song here on the TV?
I'll bet we could get him to do anything.
I bet you I could.
All right. I just got a commitment. We make the goal, the rooster will crow right here on Cable 12.
I'd be very happy to.
Mr. Cable 12, are we okay on that? There goes the show out the window. We got a thumbs up on that, and it's not loaded either because I've had the pleasure of listening, and but it would be a successful ending to a wonderful campaign. So pay attention to what we're saying. It's needed and it's good. Amy, jump back to the Perinatal Education Center.
Well,
anything else that we need to know?
No, just ongoing classes, and then we're continuously taking in donations of baby items, clothes, formula, food, diapers, whatever, because we have moms that are in need that come by and get things. But the yard sale is this Saturday. There will be some baby items in the yard sale because when we have overflow of items, we'll put them there. But, and it's reasonable. But if any mom is in need of something, if they bring me a wish list, I can try to get them those items so that they don't have to worry about it. But it's, come by and, call us, 489-1800. If you're interested in any classes, you can go to our website, dothews.fcpec.org. You'll have all our calendar of classes and everything that we're doing.
Oh, my goodness. Sir,
Yes.
You're okay, and give you a couple of minutes here to talk about where the United Way is, and I know we've hit around it.
We hit around it, and we're currently in the mode of making sure all of our existing partners, or the people who have donated now, have the materials so they can run their in-house campaigns. I'm looking for a lot of new businesses that have never done this before, because I'm finding that there's quite a few that haven't.
Are you being received positively?
Very positively.
How could you not receive him positively?
Well, I'm always incredulous, but it happens.
And so that that's the focus right now. If there's anybody that wants to make one of these donations or make a pledge, as I said, you can call our office at 483-4949. We have our great Cable 12 produced video on the website, on Facebook, and any other place I can find to put it. A lot of these interviews like this are going to end up on our YouTube under Facebook, and eventually when you go to our website, and like you would go to the Perinatal Center, we'll have this program as a video you can watch in
Which
addition
program?
to that.
This one right now?
Cable
This one right
I mean,
now.
I might be.
I learned how
on-
to do it. And I'm working on some new partners for United Way for next year. I'm actually going out and recruiting some new partners to expand, because I'm expecting great things
All right.
out of this campaign.
As we reach certain milestones, you're going to let us know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's important to remind, for the purpose of declaring a certain amount of success
Yes.
as we go, and yet also to let people know that there is still something needed and how important it is. You've heard this morning talk from an agency that relies on the United Way for the funding to play a major role in the agency, the Perinatal Education Center, continuing to function. Everybody's important, and everybody's got an angle, and everybody is helpful, and everybody provides. All these organizations. But I'm a little bit amazed as I think about the babies that are born that are assisted, their parents are assisted, that receive from an agency that which makes all of what I just explained possible. A new child being brought into the world with parents successfully, and to have the help that is needed to make that happen. And you're playing a role when you donate to the United Way. Now, you can drive to Amy's place and give her $5 and she'll put it in the kitty. You can give her $105. You can do whatever you want. But you have this method through the United Way that will see that that agency plus the other ones that are numerous really benefit. So,
Thank you.
anything else?
No,
That
you
says
said
it all. Okay, well, I have a very warm spot in my heart. I don't like her much, but I like what she does. She is
Treats
one.
you the same way.
Everybody has to get
That
it.
means he loves you.
I
Yeah,
know, I
yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm sorry. You caught me. And it was good to have the folks in from the public safety.
Yes, it is.
And
An
I was,
affiliate of United Way.
yeah, you know, and looking here, Benny Russell has his own pens now.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's whole nother story, but
Yeah.
Benny is a good person, and boy, what knowledge they impart.
Well, and they
having
have
done.
it's important information, especially, coming up on the season.
Yep.
So,
Always find a good reason, and you always find, unfortunately, somebody that has had experience, and now they know better.
well, they've seen the tragic,
Yes.
part of it,
Results,
so.
yes.
Wow. What else?
Well, that's-
Time change. When is that, Amy?
It's coming up, is it in a couple
End
weeks?
of this month.
End of this
End
month.
of this month. Wow.
2 weeks.
I don't like that, but that's okay. I can't change that. There's a lot of things I don't like. It's like the
Well, you could always not change your clock and just be,
Yeah.
either ahead or
late
late.
to everything
Wait
or
for the
early
next
to
change.
everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You know, eventually you'd be years back.
But and that could be your excuse of not being on time. Oh, forgot to change my
Forgot to
clock,
change
so.
You know, it's like all the big things and good things that go on, and me having had the privilege of having a bunch of my grandchildren visiting, and Grandpa and Grandma we just make things happen.
Great
you know?
joy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. and
Great joy.
It's so appreciated, and thank you both
Thank you.
for what
you.
you do. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm
Yep.
glad you showed up. I thought maybe somebody'd run you out, but
We've
I
been busy.
I should have known better. Seriously, thank you, Andre. I appreciate
Yes.
what you have done over the years and your prior employments, as well as this particular thing that you've decided in retirement to take on. And that's good. And you're a good man.
It's a lot
Charlie
of
Brown.
fun
Yep.
working with the folks around here.
Yeah.
It really is.
Isn't it, though?
Yes.
Amy, you know how we feel about you, and glad for you to come down.
Good to see you, fella.
All right. What can I say except that isn't it good to be here? I heard some amens. And if all goes well, I'll be back the next time, and God bless.
And I say, hey, by the way, are you going my way to Franklin County? And I say, hey, by the way, are you going my way to Franklin County?
Programs right now, they won't